So these girls are kicking my seat the whole flight. And we get off and we go to baggage claim and get our bags. And one of the women that was with them approaches me and, tries to get my number.
Yeah.
She didn't realize I was a 15-year-old boy. She was like in her 20s. I think she's wearing a mink coat. And my mom quickly came over, swooped in, was like, literally, if I was right here and she was right here, my mom came right where the mic was at and like, hi.
Yeah.
That's my son. He's 15, And she was like, oh, ma'am, I am so sorry. I did, she was real apologetic. She was like, yeah. So and the lady just walked off, but before she walked off, she had gave me her number already.
Okay. Yeah.
So she shared with me while we were standing there talking before my mom came up. I had a guitar with me because obviously I've been in music. I've been doing music my whole life.
Yeah.
So at 15, I'm traveling. I got my guitar with me. That's one of the things I got with me on my back. I actually had it. They allowed you to store it on the plane at that time in the overhead.
Okay.
So she sees that and figures I'm an artist. I'm a fellow artist touring, doing, shows.
Yeah.
So she was trying to get something to do, while she was in Detroit. So my mom quickly came in, messed that up. And, she tells me that she's, got a hit single out there. And, I said, oh, wow. Okay. Well, me trying to get
keep going.
Me trying to get signed at the time and trying to get into the industry. I'm like, oh yeah, I need to, at that time I thought her as an artist, she could get me on.
Right.
I didn't know at that time it takes, she's not an A&R. She's not, no type of exec or anything like that. She's just signed to a label like I'm trying to be.
Yeah.
So she could do nothing for me really other than like introduce me to somebody and hopefully they feeling me or whatever. So, but that was valuable to me. I got her number. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm going places.
This is them almost situations that we was talking about earlier.
Yeah.
So she was staying at the Athenian downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Mike was managing us at that time. I called Mike. I said, my mom said that lady, she almost seen her like as a predator. She's like, yeah, don't have anything. People in that industry, they try to da-da-da-da. She was real skeptical and real protective. And I was like, Ma, you tripping. Like any other 15-year-old, Ma, you tripping. It ain't even that serious like that. She's just trying to, it ain't even like that.
Yeah.
So I called Mike and I say, Mike, I have this very big opportunity. It could be a big opportunity for you too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I met this lady on the plane. She's a sign artist. I think she was with, I don't know, Interscope or MCA, like one of those labels that don't even exist no more now. But she had a hit single at that time, and she was doing a show with Janae. You remember Janae?
I remember Janae.
Yeah, Janae and 112.
Yeah.
At the time down at the Pine Knob Music Theater. So she told me about that, all of this right there in that conversation at the airport.
Right.
So I'm like, I gotta get with this lady
while
she's here. Yeah, this is my ticket. You know what I'm saying? So I snuck, you had a landline back then. I snuck and called her. Hello. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the kitchen. I'm like looking around for my mom, like, hey, this is the guy the boy you met at the airport. Yeah, how you doing? She's like, oh my God. She even on the phone call, she said, you such a cutie. I can't believe you so young.
Yeah.
She said, oh, you a baby. And I'm like, man, never mind all that. Listen, I'm trying to get with you. My manager's going to bring me to meet you. Where are you staying at?
Right.
Because I want to sing for her,
Yeah.
And so he brought me, Mike got me in the car. He had a black, I think a Maxima at that time.
Yeah. Yeah.
He took me down there and, we knocked on her room and she came, she had a robe on and she let us in. And she even walked us out. I sang for her and she was like, oh my God. She was really, really struck by my voice. She was like, you got a voice.
Yeah.
You need to be heard. Like, I don't know what I can do for you. I'm just an artist, but I want to get you, I need to get you, heard by somebody. She was like, I tell you what, if you're able to come down to the show tonight, if nothing else, I can put you in front of, 112 and Janae and see what can happen. So I had to beg my mom. I said, Mom, remember the lady, the thing that, you know, at the airport, you know, yeah, I remember. The lady was trying to said, Mom, she's an artist. She's a singer. And she told me she wanted me to come down to the show they doing at Pine Knot Music Theater. Like she's a signed artist. She like out there.
Yeah.
Can you take me, please? And my mom was like, you know, she deliberated on it for a minute. She was thinking like, if I go with you, I said, well, I mean, how's I'm gonna get there, you know?
Yeah.
So she drove me. She came in with me. Yvette Michelle.
Did y'all have to buy a ticket?
No. Yvette Michelle is the artist who I'm speaking of. Yvette Michelle, if you're watching this, I got big love for you. Thank you for that moment and that chapter in my life.
Shout out to Ep-2 Michelle.
Yeah, shout out to Ep-2 Michelle, man. And she had a song, I think it was called I'm Not Feeling You at that time. And she brought me back, you know, she told me where to meet her at. It was kind of like a back door type thing. And we came in the back door of Pine Knot Music Theater and came right on the stage. I walked on the stage with my mom. My mom is looking around and 112, who I, you know, was I was a huge fan of 112 at that time. You know what I'm saying? Was singing all their records at talent shows and everything.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm just a 15-year-old kid. They grown men. They back there, you know, vocalizing, practicing for the show that they about to have. It was surreal. You know what I'm saying? I came back there and you know, Slim, Mike, Duran, Q, who I, you know, it was crazy why I say God was with me even back then. So I'm a 15-year-old boy back then meeting them right backstage.
Right.
And Janine, they say, you know, I shook their hand and everything. Hey, how you? Oh, he's so cute. You know, and Yvette was telling them, oh, he can sing. He can do that. Oh, really? You know, but they all back there getting ready for their show or whatever. So I sat backstage and watched the entire show.
Yeah.
You know, with my mom. And it was just like, I had never been that close to it. You know what I'm saying? Nothing man
right
like
there.
that. Yeah. You know, and it was just the most incredible feeling, man. And you know, I thank my mom for that to this day, you know what I'm saying? Because fast forward, what was it? I think I was 17, 18. So 2 years after that, I'm on the same show with 112.
Wow.
I'm on the same stage as 112.
Yeah.
And I reminded them of that moment. I said, y'all, I don't know y'all remember. It was a show y'all did with Jeanne and Yvette Michelle back in Michigan. And it you know, Pine Knot Music Theater. And Q and Duran was like, yeah, we remember that show.
Yeah.
I was like, you remember the young guy that came backstage that, you know, that was me.
Wow.
And they was like, wow. All of them was like, wow, that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And I reminded them, I said, yeah, Duran, you played a song for everybody. You was on the piano and everybody sung a solo.
So did you sing for them while you were backstage with them?
No.
Okay.
No, I was literally just, you know, just soaking in the moment at that time. But you know, I know all of them now and they respect me as a singer and, you know, as an artist, which is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Which is more than I could ever ask. Even if I don't hang out with them every day. Actually, Duran, shout out to Duran Jones from 112. He actually wanted to be on my album.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? He told me that he would be on my album, the album that I'm working on currently.
Now it's 112 and there's another, hold on. 112 and it's other 4 more guys. They
Boyz II Men?
Nope.
Jagged Edge?
Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
Okay.
They had a big rivalry at one point in time, but they, you know, it was all just for, you know what I'm saying, publicity and stuff like that. They're real good friends.
Major props to them, man.
Yeah, and full circle moment too with 112, with Jagged Edge. So the guy who actually initially signed them and managed them when they first came out, before Mike Bivens had them, was a guy named Kevin Wells. Shout out to my big brother, Kevin Wells, a Worldwide Entertainment, or now I think it's New America is his label now. But we ended up, the group that I was with after 7 Mile, we ended up getting down with him. He wanted to sign us. He actually submitted contracts to sign us, but my group at the time, they vetoed it. They didn't go along with it. So it was no deal. But he was signing us to $1 million deal, which was, you know, standard at that time. I think we had, it was pretty robust. They didn't see it as that at that time because Squeak, who was in the group with me, he had been in the Sony situation before then.
Yeah.
You know, where things were seemingly a little bit more sweet and a little bit more money in pocket, you know, as far as like advance and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what I now know now, I didn't know then, your advance, that's just money you're going to owe them later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll get that to you. They give you that $1 million, but guess what? If you don't sell 1 million records, if you don't sell $1 million worth of records,
we know how it go now.
that difference is coming out your pocket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever you make from that point is literally just paying your debt back, that advance.
And you end up like a lot of different artists.
You're a slave.
Who never had anything to show for it. They were working basically for free. Yeah. But it wasn't for free, but they were writing off all the incidentals against them.
Exactly. And that consists of limo rides, that consists of hotel rooms.
Everything
they don't tell you that
makes you a star.
Yeah. All the things that make you look like a celebrity.
Yeah.
You are it's a loan.
Right.
It's a loan. The whole thing is a loan.
Wow.
You know, so at a young age, at 17, I learned that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When Sony finally let go of 7 Mile, because they had us on the label still, not under Crave, but under Sony, after Mariah Carey divorced with Tommy Mottola and all the Barbara Walters, you know, that whole interview happened and all the, you know, internet craze was going on. We were going through that. So our manager set us down one day and I was like, man, I just came in the group like a year ago. I hope I don't, you know, inherit this debt, you know, because with you know, the group 7 Mile, we went gold in Japan, but in the United States, we, you know, pretty much didn't place. I mean, we're gaining notoriety and a lot of people knew about us and everybody loved us.
Yeah.
But we were still gaining stardom, you know, in the United States. So, or the United States as a whole, there were certain places like Detroit, we was huge celebrity.
Yeah.
We, you know, basically the whole Midwest, we was, you know, if we was in the mall, Eastland, we got bum rush. You know, anywhere we went, we got bum rush. You know, people wanted pictures, people wanted, you know, autographs, all kind of stuff.
I remember the 7 Mile craze.
Yeah. You know, so in fact, I was in high school at that time, and I was very popular in high school. You know, in Kettering, I was a celebrity in my own right at Kettering.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was singing at all the programs, all the, you know, anything, any type of ceremony, anything. I was, you know, I wish I got somebody who had the videos from that, because when they started announcing the names of me and the people that was in my group, you couldn't hear them announcing it. It was that much like screaming and pandemonium. Yeah. I'm not saying that braggatively, but that's like just real. That's how it was. It was like, you know, Bogart, I don't know if you know Bogart from Kettering, because you went to King.
Yeah.
But Coach Bogart, rest his soul, he's the uncle of Jerome Bettis.
Okay.
He's his direct uncle. His brother is his, you know, he's Jerome Bettis. He's our Coach Bogart's brother's son.
Okay.
So Bogart would announce us at the, you know, whatever, you know, if it was a talent show or whatever. Yeah, y'all, you know, this is a real treat for y'all. You know, these boys, you know, y'all know they come whenever they come on stage. It's going. As soon as he said that, you couldn't hear nothing no more. My mom would be there, and she would be mad because she'd be looking at the girl next to her, like, you know, on each side, like, can y'all shut up so I can hear my son? You know what I'm saying? But it was crazy, man. It was like literally like you would think Boyz II Men or somebody was there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they showed us, I mean, incredible love. Before I did any big shows.
Now, Squeak didn't go to Kettering.
He did. Yeah, he
Okay.
did. Me and him went to school all the way from, well, we didn't go to middle school together, but we went to Joyce together. We went to Kettering together.
Yeah.
So elementary and high school.
Yeah.
I mean, and Squeak had that notoriety as being a jitter at Kettering.
Yeah.
Not a singer, but I was always known as a singer, you know what I'm saying? You know, and musician and stuff like that. But anyway, back to the story with Yvette Michelle. So that moment that she brought me into is actually the reason that I know 112 and had a rapport with 112 that I do now. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea, no way of knowing that was going to do that back then. You know what I'm saying? And they, you know, I touched them at a, you know, because they remembered that. And then even before I did the shows with them, then we did a show at the Southfield Pavilion, and actually the promoter didn't handle business on that, so they didn't end up performing. But we was actually slated to be on the same show.
Yeah.
With the group that I was with after 7 Mile called Black Rain, and we were staying at the Westin. Both of us they was literally the next room over from us.
Okay.
So they out there with their girls and hanging out in the hallway, and we were just kicking it. You know what I'm saying? They had respect for our group, like y'all niggas crazy. Y'all
this
cold.
Black Rain or
this 112.
No, I'm saying
Black Rain.
Are you
yeah,
Black
I was with,
okay,
I was with the group Black Rain at that time. Squeak from 7 Mile was in that group as well, and another guy named Steve Vine. So it was just a 3-man group, but we had big notoriety. A lot of people didn't know about us, like the masses.
Yeah.
Yet, but we had a bidding war going on at that time. I mean, LaFace wanted to sign us, Arista, Babyface. We personally went into a meeting with Babyface, and he offered what he was going to offer.
Yeah.
We didn't like what he was offering. He was kind of greedy. I regret that we didn't get into that situation.
Yeah.
Because
hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, hindsight is 2020. Babyface wanted 75%, as he should, because he's Babyface. You know what I'm saying? But he was talking about having 75% ownership over songs that we created that he didn't write.
Yeah, that's rough.
And that was where it was publishing.
Yeah,
exactly. That was like,
because now that's my retirement.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's like
take my
you wasn't there when I even wrote that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wrote that in Detroit. I'm here in New York meeting with you, and
a lot of artists,
you know what I'm saying,
blow off of one single.
Yeah.
And then they get in a deal and give it away.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And they never can meet that.
I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell the people that's watching this something that they might not know. There's a song that everybody knows. It's called "There Goes My Baby." There goes my destiny. The only one for me. There goes my baby.
Yeah.
So I happen to know the person who wrote that song. So on paper, the person that wrote that song, what most people might think is Babyface was the writer of that song. Babyface, Kenny Babyface Edmonds is not.
So Uncle Charlie didn't write it at all.
Uncle Charlie was just chosen to sing the song.
Okay.
Because of his star power.
Yeah.
So a lot of times in the industry, there's a song by Joe and Angie Stone, God rest her soul. You're the blood in my veins, you're the air I breathe. On a hot summer day, you're like a shirt with no sleeve. What makes me a man, any fool could see that you're more than a woman to me.
Yeah.
That song was not originally Joe and Angie Stone. That song was originally an artist named Calvin Richardson.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Calvin Richardson, country boy from North Carolina. I believe he's from North Carolina. Yeah. He's a guy I know now. We're cool. We talk from time to time, just through like Instagram and stuff like that. But my former co-producer, Wayne Castle, used to be his keyboardist, used to play for him on the road. And that's how I got to know him. At one point in time, I was wanting to be, wanting to be his background singer, you know? And so we then later we were in a contest to win to be on the cover of a magazine called Detroit CEO magazine.
Yeah.
And I won over him in that. And we kind of like, just like respect, you know what I'm saying? From there. Right. So over the years, we just continued, just kept on crossing paths in some kind of way. And now we just, we have a common respect or whatever. And, but anyway, Calvin Richardson was the original writer of "There Goes My Baby."
Wow.
He was also the original artist
that was supposed to sing it.
That sang the song. It actually got released.
Okay. That actually happens a lot.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
A lot more than people know.
R. Kelly wrote more and more. But he had to give it to Joe because they leaked the Loveland album.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, so it was on Loveland first.
I didn't know
and
that.
R. Kelly actually slayed it.
Yeah, of course. What he don't do nothing different.
But it depends on who you hear do it first. They kind of set the precedent.
Uh-huh.
So now, is Calvin Richardson's song as good as Charlie Wilson's?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Calvin Richardson sang the hell out that song.
Okay.
I heard the original.
See, I can only hear that one way.
I heard the original because his keyboardist, Wayne Castle, had the copy of it.
Okay.
He had the studio version of it before it even came out.
Right.
So when I heard it, we was in the studio working, I was like, this Calvin Richardson, beast, man. I just loved. I even got his album. Another acquaintance of mine, Eric Dawkins, who wrote pretty much everything everybody knows and loves in the 2000s. He wrote, "Oh, It's gonna be the sound, girl, when it's going down. You got me saying, oh, along with Tank.
Yeah.
He wrote, how you gonna act like that? How you gonna change it up? We just finished making up. He wrote, I mean, man, I could go on and on and on. Pretty much everything you know that was popular in the 2000s, Eric Dawkins had something to do with.
And Eric Dawkins is he an artist or just a writer?
He's an artist and a songwriter.
Okay.
And a producer.
Okay.
Yeah, Eric is a beast, man.
It's funny, man. It's a lot of people like that. You know, remember who was the guy who wore polka dots? All the time. That was his brand.
Morris Day?
No, he was from the New Jack Swing era.
Oh,
polka dot.
Teddy Riley.
Nope. What's the guy's name? He had a song with all polka
Heavy
dots.
D.
No, the little slim dude with the afro.
Oh, you talking about from Digital Underground.
What's his name?
What is his name? Golly. Spike G.
No, not Shock G.
Shock G. I'm sorry.
This was a guy from when the box was out. He wore big pants with polka dots, and his whole brand was polka dots.
Mm.
But my point is, and somebody gonna bring it up and they're gonna put it in the comment, but this guy wrote everything.
And nobody
knew.
That's crazy.
And that's major, man. Like, and then you talk about people like there's so many different artists that just write and you don't know. So, but you being on the inside, you get to see a whole nother side of it.
Yeah. You know, just like, for instance, I sang background for Dave Hollister, and I found out that, you know, he wrote, you maybe want to leave the one on with, start a new relationship. You see what you do. Dave Hollister wrote that. He also wrote another record for Usher called,
Usher, right?
Yeah, that's Usher.
Yeah.
He wrote another song for Usher. What was it called? Golly, what's the other record he wrote for Usher? And I was literally, I'm on the stage singing with him, right?
Yeah.
And he started singing this song. We rehearsed it and we sang it. And he tells the audience, yeah, I can sing that record because I wrote it. And I was like, what? I literally found out on stage, like, I didn't know he wrote that.
Wow.
And I'm a cat that since I was a kid, I look at credits. Yeah. I look at
the album.
Oh yeah. I look at the credit, you know,
but back then it wouldn't be your artist name, it would be
it'd be your actual real name, your surname.
And a lot of times we didn't know who it was. Based on that.
So a lot of people don't know. They think Teddy Riley appeared in New Jack days. Teddy Riley was on
Thriller.
Billy Ocean's.
No, but he was with Teddy Riley was working with
Greg Fillinganes.
Okay. See,
yeah, he probably was with Greg Fillinganes because he was really the as far as Thriller, he was really the brains, not Quincy Jones. He was really the brains.
That's what I'm talking about. He was working with Quincy Jones.
Yeah, but
Teddy Riley he was in their rooms with them while they were making that.
Quincy Jones was he was the cat. He was the name.
Yeah.
And that guy who,
the glue.
He hosted the party.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as far as the cats that was getting down, you had Donnie Hathaway, and I'm not spitting no venom for anybody that's watching. I'm not spitting no venom on, big respect to Quincy Jones. He influenced me tremendously as a singer, as a songwriter, as a composer. You know what I'm saying? But what I happen to know, Quincy Jones used his influence, his notoriety, his name and everything to get a lot of talented cats in the same room, in the same studio to make magic happen.
Exactly.
So he just, was in a sense like a Diddy.
Yeah.
And no, Diddy is a genius in his own right too. But I'm going to tell y'all something that, most people know now. Diddy has never produced a single song himself. Diddy has never sat down at a keyboard or guitar or drums or anything and put a song down. He's never did a track in his life. Diddy had people like Mario Winans, who's from Detroit, Skeeter. We call him Skeeter in Detroit. He had Mario Winans. Mario Winans did, I need a girl to ride. I need a girl to be my life. And be my wife.
So who was putting 411 together?
That was all the people he had employed, you know what I'm saying, at Daddy's house. That was Mario Winans. That was, you know, all these other cats, Paul Allen. There was all these other cats that came in and out of there as producers and songwriters.
So if I look at one of those albums, if I look at Mary J. Blige's album, I'll only see him as executive producer?
Mostly, yeah. Usually he'll be the executive producer, which I came to find out, you know, because I used to think, dang, he's like the main producer. But what that usually means, that means he put the money forward.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's the money guy.
Executive producer, yeah. That's the money person. That's the person that if you don't have them, you can do whatever, but to get people hired, you need the money.
Yeah,
I'm talking about real people.
That's with anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now, you have the exception to that. You got people like my man Kevin Wells, who I mentioned before, who was not only just a manager or an A&R of sorts, but he was also involved in the creative process. Kevin Wells will be in the studio and say, do this instead of that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sing this part stronger.
So what do you call that though? On the credits? Is that
well he would be producer, you know, co-arranger.
He didn't make the track.
Nah, but in some cases he might have influenced the making of the track.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like where they might have had it might have been boons, and he might have said, he might have said, do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, do that. So he influenced the, you know, what ultimately came out.
So that comes with royalties.
Absolutely.
Changing that.
If you know business, if you're doing good business, like Kevin Wells has always been a, you know, he's a street dude too, you know what I'm saying? Which is one of the ways that we click, you know, even to this day, we cut kind of from the same cloth at the same time of being a business dude. So he know his business. You ain't never going to do a deal with him and he cut out. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that hasn't happened to him, but it's very rare that you're going to, you know what I'm saying? You're going to shark him.
Clarence Avant.
Oh, Clarence Avant.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. Clarence Avant is, you know, he's like Godfather.
Yeah.
He's like one of those, you know what I'm saying? Cats that you honestly, if you haven't gotten a certain point in the industry, you'll never even know he exists.
Yeah.
But he's not the only one.
But I brought him up based on what you were saying about.
Yeah.
Clarence Avant didn't use muscle, but it was something about him.
He had relationships.
Yeah.
Clarence Avant had relationships with several individuals in several different industries. And what he used is his rapport.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't about him being musically inclined, nothing like that. It was just like, hey, you know what? You got talent. You're a good singer. I'm gonna put you in this room with. He was a master of
bringing people together. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Dots.
Yeah, he was a master of that. You know what I'm saying. Yeah. You know, and he's not the only one. There's a lot of people in the industry like that.
What advice would you give that young version of yourself walking into this game today?
Man, that's a 3, 4, 5-fold question. But I can't say that I have really a whole lot of regrets, because a lot of the things that I did and didn't do, they worked out in my favor.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? In the long run. But, you know, just like, okay, for instance, meeting Kevin Wells when I was with the group, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things happened when we met him in Atlanta. He took us, you know, we went a bunch of places. He took us to Club Beds. We was in the executive suite in Justin's, you know, which was Diddy's restaurant that he gave his mom's.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody came in there. Big Tigger, some of the cats from the Neptunes. I mean, it was some of everybody. I mean, people I had never seen in real life.
Yeah.
Was coming through and just dapping me like, yeah. Okay. Kevin's like, yeah, these my new guys. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they signed with me now. You know what I'm saying?
And this is when you are
with Black Rain.
Black Rain.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, he had us sing for him. You know, it was a room full of celebrities.
Yeah.
You know, he had hit something for him. And you know, at the end of that night, actually quite a few of the places that we went, Big Tigger, shout out to Big Tigger. Big Tigger was with us, or he was there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We went to, I wouldn't get into that story. We went to a club called Club Beds, and he was there. And it's a funny situation, but I'm not gonna get into that because I'm just telling my story. I don't want to, like, you know, put nobody else's thing out there. But Yeah, it was an interesting night altogether. But you know, like I said, that was a situation with me and my group. Post that situation, me and Kevin, or even during that trip, me and Kevin connected, you know, on a personal level. He's seen something in me, and I don't understand to this day. I can only attest it to just like the favor of God, really.
Yeah.
Because okay, the way it was set up, he had about 4 vehicles. He was in Mercedes, a drop top 2-door, like a compressor.
Yeah.
Behind that was a 500 SEL, like a 90. No, not a 90. I'm sorry. It was like a 2002, maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was behind that. Then behind that, it was a BMW X5 truck.
Right.
These was all his vehicles.
Yeah.
Then there was another one behind that. It was all silver. And we was like kind of in like this concave. You know what I'm saying? We was all right. Everywhere we went that night, we was all together. You know what I'm saying? At the light, they pulling up, playing music.
Is this
stupid.
LA?
This is Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, something weird happened. We was all, me and my group was all in the BMW X5 together. Right. All 3 of us.
Okay.
And we had, once we stopped at one of the places that we stopped at, we was all just sitting there waiting to leave. And one of Kevin's mans, one of the people in his entourage, came up to the truck we was at and said, "Which one of y'all is Joe?" And I'm like, "Oh, you know, I'm young." I'm like, "Me?" Like I'm like worried, like what I do. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Joe. Oh, Kevin wants you. So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So I get out. I go over to Kevin's the convertible he's in. I go to the driver's side. Like, what's going on? He's like, get in. So okay, that's weird. I got in the passenger seat and I sat down. I'm like, I ain't say nothing. I ain't know what it was about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just found it weird. And so my group is still in the X5. They back two cars behind us.
And y'all moving.
We about to go to the next spot.
Okay.
So we get to ride. We take off. I'm in passenger seat. Kevin Wells is in the driver's seat. And so we ride. Kevin is like this real, like, when I say this nigga is cool, like the most, I have never known nobody, he cooler than Vibe. That nigga like super laid back, just like.
Just cool.
Yeah, he just like.
That's his default.
Yeah, he
cool.
Real like, he seemed like he high all the time. So Kevin just driving, you know, top down. I'm feeling good. It's like, man, it's like a dream or something.
Yeah. And
so as we driving, you know, I wasn't saying nothing. He wasn't saying nothing. We just playing music. And I remember getting up to a light, and the truck with my group in it came up next to us. We was at the red light, and the nigga who was driving was, you know, one of his guys and his entourage. He danced to the music. And we, you know, just vibe with Kevin. And I looked in the back seat, and my group was back there looking like I betrayed them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was a real bad feeling. I was like, dang, I don't like how that feel. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't ask me, you know, I didn't come up there on my own. He asked me to come up there.
Yeah.
So we took off from the light, and Kevin just speaks. He's like, I like you. Real, you know, like that.
Yeah.
You know, real calm. I like you. He said, I like your vibe. He said, you your own, like your group, they cool. He said, but it's something different on you. You gotta, I like your, you know what I'm saying, the way you dress, everything.
Yeah.
And so initially I'm feeling like, I hope this ain't one of them gay Hollywood things. Where's this going? But he was just genuinely saying, like, who you are, I see a difference in you than them.
Yeah. And
he said, honestly, he said, with this group, I don't know how y'all got it structured or whatever. He said, but you gonna be the front, man. You know, when y'all sign with me, you gonna be in the front. And I was like, but you know what I'm saying? That's kind of how it was. I was like,
so it wasn't arranged like that in the beginning?
No, we was all solo artists. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we were a group, but we were all singers. We were all lead singers.
Yeah, because that's where it came from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we were all strong singers. All of us could blow.
But it's more to it too than that.
Yeah. So he was thinking about the look. He was thinking about interviews, who gonna talk. who's gonna look the best talking. He was thinking about things as an executive,
right?
You know, because he broke another bad creation. Aisha, you are the girl that I never had. He Bell Biv DeVoe, New Edition, all this stuff. He was the guy behind all of these groups that people know about, but they don't really know him that well,
right?
But he's a genius. He does this, you know, professionally. You know what I'm saying? So I really couldn't say nothing. I was just like, you know, he said, yeah, you know, he was saying that my group was kind of like, as far as their personalities, they kind of like, he was saying something derogatory to him. I tried to stick up for him. I was like, well, no, I mean, we all cool. You know, he was like, nah, he disagreed with me. He's like, nah, you different. You different than them. You know what I'm saying? He's like, you know, he was just telling me his plans that he had for us as a group, you know. And I was just like, I couldn't do nothing but just sit there and shut up.
And that's real on a level of, I don't know y'all enough to care about anybody's
right feelings or whatever.
Business wise,
I'm
saying this. Now you can take it for what it's worth. And we can roll. But if you have more allegiance to your guys, which that's cool. You know, I can't invest in that. And that's what it sounded like he was saying to you. Like if I'm gonna move forward, I'm telling you how it's gonna be.
That's exactly how he was. He's real, I mean, completely blunt, completely forward. After at the end of the night, we ended up at the Waffle House, which is a big thing in the South. And that was my first time there, and he was kicking it with us. I mean, just straight up. He was real, I mean, borderline rude. He was real shrewd. He looked at me. He went from each one of us. Steve was the oldest one in the group. He was like actually at that time in his upper 30s. And his hair was starting to thin out, you know, in the front. And he told him, he said, yeah, you need to wear a hat like all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like you starting to age. It's literally just like this, verbatim. He told Squeak, he said, we're gonna have to, you know, because Squeak has a basically like a deformity. His ear is like, you know what I'm saying? You know Squeak, you know. We all know him. We don't even see that. You know what I'm saying? Because we known him forever. You know, like I said, we go back to flipping home mattresses in the alley together, you know. But he told him that. He also told him that the way that you dress is not, both of y'all, is not international. That's what he said. You know what I'm saying? Like what you got on right now, that ain't gonna fly everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he literally pointed at me and it felt horrible. He was like, how he dressed, that's international. That's, you know what I'm saying? But we're a group, so I'm feeling like, dang, he just like.
And it gets to a point where now you got somebody.
It's like animosity, or it's like
breaking y'all apart.
Exactly. It's almost like envy is beginning now. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting, I'm not saying nothing. I'm just like, dang, you know, I'm feeling horrible. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they got to be feeling alienated or ostracized or whatever. So, but he said something to me too. He said this to me at that point in time. You know, I had been a thin dude for the longest. You know this. You know, I had been real thin. You know, I was always like cut and real thin. But at that particular time, I was like 19. I was starting to get some grown man, you know what I'm saying, meat on me. But he looked at me and he said, I like your style. And he said, don't gain no more weight. That's what he said. He said, don't gain no more weight. Stay right where you at. And I just said, okay.
Right.
And he started talking about his whole, he said, y'all niggas gonna be doper than 112. I'm gonna have y'all so fly. Y'all gonna be wearing this. Y'all gonna be wearing that. I can already see the video. Like, you know, he was like literally visualizing what he was gonna do with us. And he went, took us back to the hotel. He shook our hands. He gave us a couple bottles of Moet, which I didn't even drink. You know what I'm saying, at the time, but I was thankful, grateful for it or whatever. And he said, welcome to Worldwide Entertainment. The next time that y'all come out here, I'm gonna have y'all chains and all that. Rapper Lil Zane, who was on We Can Do It Anywhere with 112. We Can Do It Anywhere. He was one of his artists at the time. You know, and he had a couple other artists or whatever under that label, but all of them he gave chains, kind of like Rockefeller or whatever. that was just like a thing, a custom at that time. This was like during BMF period.
Yeah, you gave
the end of BMF period and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Official
yeah. I mean, he kind of, like I said, he was a street dude. He dealt. It was almost like BMF or like you was in a gang or something like that. So, that's what was supposed to happen the next trip when we came back out after we signed the contract and all that, which we didn't.
Y'all didn't sign.
So we got with our lawyer and our management at that time, and
don't you just hate that?
Oh man,
they looked at that and said, "Hell no."
Yeah, it was literally, that was the end of us. We had a real dope group. We had a man. If our album would have came out back then, what we did, I'm not saying this boastfully or nothing like that. Like vocally, there was nothing nobody could do with us. Nothing.
Yeah.
We wasn't even like holding back. We was killing niggas vocally on that album. Yeah. Like we was showing off. You know what I'm saying? We was doing stuff that nobody was doing on albums. We was like harmonizing runs in like 3-part, harmony. We were just doing crazy stuff, and everybody, as far as executives, as far as labels was like crazy about us. By the time we met Kevin had our record, knew all of the songs on our demo or on our record. He was singing them. We showed up at the end of the night at his office was like in a house. He had the top down and he was literally playing all our records and was telling his boy, he tapping him like, listen, nigga, listen to this next song. Like these boys is crazy. And he's singing. I'm just like, how he know our songs? Yeah. Like singing the words to him. He was like, yeah, this like, I'm gonna put this out just how it is. We ain't gonna, he was like, we might do like beef up the track a little bit, but this ready. You know what I'm saying? And that was a huge compliment because we was just grassroots dudes from the east side that.
So these songs were actually.
We did right in the building that you was leasing to us. That's what we produced the songs he was saying this about. There and we had got into another spot down at the Detroit Pizza Factory on Griswold.
Okay.
But those songs got us our deal.
Wow.
That we produced and wrote. You know what I'm saying? So just as they was, he said, he gonna see this. I'm gonna tag him in it when he come out.
Yeah.
He'll say on there, he'll remember this. He was like, I'm gonna put this out just how it is. This crazy.
So y'all didn't sign that deal. The numbers didn't add up to y'all
for my
legal
group members.
Yeah.
So my group member Steve was, his background, he was big in the play scene. So like Perilous Times and all that stuff. He was one of them actors and singers. And he could sing. Oh yeah. He was one of the main characters on them big plays like that. Yeah. And he was making money touring with them plays.
Right.
So for him, when he said that's a little chump change. I can make that on the road doing, I can make more than that, whatever.
To be locked into this deal.
To be locked in this deal for 7 years, which was standard at that time. You know what I'm saying? It was 7 years was a standard deal. And then what he was talking, which, we saw, he took Kevin, like I said, Kevin managed Jagged Edge. So he took us into the office with the lawyer who did their contracts and all this type of stuff. And we saw Jagged Edge contract. Each one of them got $1 million cash, like as an advance. But what he was offering us was $75,000 in cash each.
Yeah.
So, they looked at it. We were sitting there at the table in the dining room of our lawyer at that time, lady named Angela. And she broke it down. She said, this is not a bad deal. This is kind of standard. She was an entertainment lawyer. She said, it's kind of standard. I mean, the worst thing about it is the time frame. It is a 7-year deal, but it's not the worst thing. You know what I'm saying? And they was just like, nah. Squeak was like, I was with 7 Mile. He kind of was like pulling the Trump card, like, I've been all over the world already. Like this ain't, he gonna have to come better than that.
And they probably weren't feeling him that much either. So
probably from some of the things he said.
So if the money would have been really good, we got to take.
Well, I mean, at that time, what I said in the meeting, I said, what we got right now, nigga, you don't have a job. You only going out with the plays whenever they go out. Right. So in other words, you unemployed too.
Right.
this is the best thing we got.
75,000 back then was a lot of money.
That was 200K.
Yeah.
Back then,
yeah,
back in 2001.
I'm saying even in inflation. With inflation, that was
back in 2001, that was a lot of money.
That was a lot of money.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would have changed my life at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Did you ever consider just going solo?
Definitely. When that happened, I definitely did. So that night was pretty much the end of us. So we after we left her house, we went to Denny's. that night, bro. We went to Denny's restaurant. It was us, our manager, one of our managers, a guy named David Johnson, and I think the lawyer might have came with us, or it might have just been us, him and us, the group. Now Steve is hilarious. He's like Jamie Foxx, funny. Like he funny as I don't know what. But when you're in a bad mood and somebody cracking jokes, So I was torn. I'm like, first of all, I back up. Before they declined that deal, another deal came in. They declined that deal, and he sent another one. And he said, with that, this is the last one.
Yeah.
So I wasn't at the first one. They made that decision without me even being there. So and I just learned of that at the meeting. Yeah. They didn't even call. I said, wait a minute. Another one came and I wasn't there. So I'm already, you know what I'm saying? So once they declined that deal and it was like, this is last one and we back to the drawing board looking for somebody to sign us, I'm heated.
Yeah, you got a bad taste in your mouth.
I left my truck at Steve's house and I rode with them. All in my mind, I'm sitting there like this in the truck. That just get me back to my truck, bro. I'm mad.
Damn.
And so we went to Denny's. I didn't know they was going to eat. I didn't want to go eat. I'm mad.
Who went? Just the group?
The group and our manager, David. And so we sitting there at the table and Steve is being Steve. Steve is cracking. Steve, and he's funny. Like I said, I mean, normally I would be in tears. I'm about to pee on myself.
Yeah.
But I'm mad. When I'm mad, ain't nothing funny. You know what I'm saying? Right. In fact, if you're trying to crack jokes, I want to fight you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Person.
Yeah. I'm like, nigga, shut up. Yeah. You know? So Steve is cracking these jokes and he starts cracking jokes on me. You know, he got Squeak is cracking up and he imitating me how I talk and everything. I looked up at him, when Eastside, like, hey, nigga, you can shut up or go to the hospital today. That's your options.
Right.
Dead ass serious. I'm dead serious.
Right.
Say something else, anything about me, nigga. Say anything else about me and I'm beating your, you know what I'm saying? It was like that.
Because it's to the point now.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So Steve looked at me. He was kind of like halfway smirking and kind of seeing like, oh, this nigga serious.
Yeah.
And everybody kind of seeing I was serious. And now our food and got there. He kind of eating. He like, I'm playing with you, bro. I said, no, I'm not in the playing mood, bro. Ain't nothing you saying funny to me. So don't say
so. So Steve is saying it's a bad deal.
Steve didn't want the deal. He didn't feel like it was enough. He didn't feel like.
In hindsight, what do you think?
It was a big mistake. It was a huge mistake.
We should have did it.
Because if the money wasn't there, the places that Kevin could have put us, the people that Kevin could have put us around, far surpassed the money that we would have got.
Okay,
we could have kept afloat and we could have flew off of just the connections alone. We would have been on everything. We would have been on radio. We would have been.
Were y'all guaranteeing a certain amount of albums?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was 3 albums. I think it was a 3-album deal, or three or 4 album deal. We had $300,000 video budget.
Okay.
It was. I mean, we could have definitely made some noise, and that's all we needed at that time. We were such a good group that.
So you feel like that was you feel like that decision alone.
That was a big mistake.
Okay. And have you talked to them since?
Oh yeah. Me, I'm actually producing songs on Squeak's album right now.
So Squeak is back. He back at it.
Oh yeah. He like me, got family and life happened and he took a break and was just living life and taking care of things.
Where is he at? He's still in Michigan?
He's still in Michigan.
Okay. So So you feel like it was a bad idea?
Yeah, it was a horrible choice.
So was anybody rolling with you at the time saying, let's do it?
No.
And was it because, did they look at it as if because my man was so, he was so pro Joe?
Maybe, I don't know.
No, I'm saying, like, did you get any of that from anybody? Like, you just want to do this because you fuck with him and he fuck with you?
I didn't get that at the time. I just thought that they felt like, based on what they were saying, I'm worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? And then too, like I told you, everybody was like, people was hitting us up like all the time. Major.
Okay. So Squeak had his situation with 7 Mile.
Yeah.
What's his name had his situation with touring, doing.
Steve, yeah.
Steve was doing, he done made money traveling, doing plays.
Yeah.
You have done what you did with 7 Mile.
That was pretty much it for on a major.
So they looking at you as if, so for you, this your big break.
Yeah, yeah.
For them, they feel like they've already done it.
Yeah, now bear in mind too, when we went out to Atlanta and Kevin said, y'all in, I'm signing y'all.
Yeah.
I hit my mom, my people, everybody, they at home with balloons and confetti.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They like, I knew he was gonna make it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it was for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all my people, they were so proud, man. They was crying. They were saying, like, you know, this is what we knew your life would be. This is, you know, this is what you was meant for.
My baby is signed now.
Yeah. You know, she was telling, you know, which I was. I had been on TV and, you know, when we did the Star Spangled Banner for fight at the Mount Pleasant Soaring Eagles Casino and Resort for the fight up there. That was on national news, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, she was real proud of me. My mom was real proud of me. My dad was real proud of me. He was giving me warnings of things, pitfalls and drugs, stay away from drugs. Why, you know.
Yeah, so they're giving you the speech.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So everything was a go. And then when that happened, it was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the confetti, you know, it was like 2 pieces in the air. You know what I'm saying? The balloons popped, the helium went out. You know what I'm saying? That's where it was at that point.
And you went back to Detroit.
Yeah, and I'm back in Detroit. My girl at the time, or you know, my ex-wife now, her mom is handing me news clippings for job listings. You know what I'm saying? So people losing faith in me. You know what I'm saying? So that's the other side that a lot of people that's aiming for this and that's trying to get involved with. That's what they don't know.
I think that's what the question was.
Yeah,
the base of it.
Yeah.
What would you tell somebody?
Yeah, and that's what I would tell them, man. If you're gonna venture off and you're gonna venture into this to do music or to be a singer, to be an artist, if that's your aspiration, let that be solely your aspiration and let that remain your sole aspiration. Because if you're looking for fame, you may achieve fame, you may attain fame, but fame is fleeting. Fame is every artist that you can think of. Michael Jackson was one of the biggest, is the biggest artist that has ever been known, other than I think at this point, James Brown or Beyonce or Elvis Presley or Beyonce, Chris Brown is on that stage now or in that arena. But all of these celebrities that reached the highest height became villains at some point too.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson had the scandal of, you know, him touching kids. Chris Brown had the scandal of him beating Rihanna. James Brown had the scandal of him abusing his wife and shooting a gun at somebody and having jail, you know, legal issues and stuff like that. R. Kelly. I mean, you know, we ain't got to speak on that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, if that's your goal and that's your, you know, your goal aspiration, I'm gonna tell you right now, give up. Don't even go toward it. Because first of all, the mental capacity and the you know, the emotional capacity that you have to have and you know, possess to even withstand that type of fallout.
Yeah.
To be all the way up here and get snatched all the way down to here, where nobody's buying your albums no more. You getting banned from arenas and getting banned from shows and award shows. And, you know, like Chris Brown, because of the Rihanna thing, they didn't even shows that he was slated to be at, they canceled him from.
Yeah.
So this is what every artist or every aspiring artist
that was chasing fame.
This is what you know, that's just one thing that you had to deal with or that you could potentially deal with. But it's a number of things that you're gonna interface with that. I mean, I'm telling you, if you don't have a, you know, for me, I was raised, like I said, with, you know, my father's a pastor, my mom is very spiritual. If you don't have that type of background, you don't have like a just for lack of a better phrase, a good head on your shoulders, you'll be jumping off one of these buildings behind the stuff that you'll see in the industry.
Yeah, and you see what Old Town Road.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Biggest song went diamond. I can't think his name.
Lil Nas
X. Well, he was just in the news walking in a diaper or his underwear.
Yeah. Tidy whities.
Yeah. And so I'm talking about 10 million copies sold or streamed.
Well, see, it's a whole lot more going on with him because he, you know, when you play games with the devil,
yeah, whole nother ballgame.
Yeah, you're gonna lose. It's gonna go bad for you. The end is gonna be bad.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So that's just one aspect of his whole thing, but you know,
but he rose really quick.
He had
obscurity.
A great song.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You had a great song, but see what the thing about being an artist and having great music and achieving celebrity status, now you got people locked in. Now you got people watching you for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You're not just an artist no more. Now you are like, to them, in a sense, God. In a sense, you're like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you are, they don't expect you to fart. They don't expect you to trip. They don't expect you to do anything that a human would do.
Yeah.
Because you are celebrity status now.
You got to drive right. You got to dress right. You got to speak right.
Literally, you just got your L's. Yeah. You on probation. So they watching literally. I mean, if you run a red, if you do a rolling stop at the stop sign, we saw you.
Yeah.
Now we boycotting you. We ain't buying your records. You know, and it's gonna be this whole ugly thing. And you're gonna be hiding your face and, you know, running from the paparazzi, flashing photos. You know, that's what all comes with the celebrityism.
Yeah.
Me, myself, I've never, ever wanted that. Yeah. Even when I was in high school, when I was, and even at the church that I was with, which was a mega church, and everybody saw me as like, oh, it's Joe Porê.
Yeah.
I didn't want that.
Yeah.
That's why when I was singing, my hand was shaking like this, because I was so afraid of the mass of people. It was like 20,000 people in there watching me sing, you know. And at my school, I got a better handle on it then. I was a teenager, and I enjoyed. That's where performing and you know, being an artist. That was my grooming space.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So, all of the things that I learned to do and to not do, I learned there. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah. At
high school and stuff like that. Well, I'm still learning. You're gonna always be learning, you know, as long as you're doing it, you know.
What's next for you, man?
What's next for me, man? I'm coming back. And well, my album that's coming is called the Reintroduction of Joe Porê. And for many people, they never even heard of Joe Porê. But for a lot of people, and even a lot of people in the industry, celebrities that y'all listen to, they know who I am.
Right.
They come on my page and we got camaraderie, and they come in my DMs and we talk, and we talk about collabing, and we, you know, but I'm trying to bridge that gap and make everybody, common folks, aware of who Joe Porê is. And you know, it's not about receiving or achieving celebrity status. I don't want that. I want to continue to go to the grocery store and nobody bum rushes me, or, you know, I come out of my house and get my mail and nobody out there snapping photos, you know, or at my daughter's, you know, baby shower snapping. You know, I like the life that I live, you know what I'm saying? And I want to keep it that way, but I do want people to know my music, to appreciate it, to respect me as a singer, as a songwriter, as a producer. And I want my songs to be the soundtrack of your life, just like Easy Like Sunday Morning, or Let's Stay Together by Al Green, or like, you know, your Isley Brothers, wanna be living for the love of you. That's what's next for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just aiming to cement myself as a singer, as an artist in people's mind and in their hearts.
And how can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, _Joe Porê, _JoePore, or you can find me as Joe Porê on Facebook. I think I got various pages on Facebook, but you know, I'm Joe Porê everywhere. JoePore. You can find me there. You can find me on YouTube. You can find my music on YouTube. Deeper, that my recent releasings or offerings. Deeper, which I wrote for my good friend Brandon Williams, compilation, The Love Factor, is I think it's like on Spotify, it's like probably close to 1 million streams. I wrote 2 songs on that compilation. Another one was called You're Mine. Both the same. I think, I don't know which one has the most, but even on YouTube, I think it's at like, I want to say it's like at 3 or 400,000, you know what I mean? So yeah, you can find me there. You know, if you just type my name in, pretty much everything I've been involved in musically comes up.
So what about new projects?
New projects, I got one of my favorite songs right now, a song called Crazy, coming out October 27th. That's going to be available everywhere. Spotify,
what's Crazy about?
Apple. So Crazy is it's about that moment where you have a breakup, you know, with the person that you've been with for a long time and that you loved, obviously, and you're not with them no more. Normally, when you're not with nobody no more, y'all don't talk no more. You don't see them no more. You don't, you know what I'm saying? Y'all don't interact in any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? It's right. A done deal. It's a wrap. But in some cases, you know, especially if you have kids with them, especially if you live in the same city, you might be downtown, you know what I'm saying, one night, and you see her with that next guy.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And it's over. And you ain't, you know what I'm saying? You might even be dating somebody yourself, but it hit different when you see them getting out of my man's car, or you see him opening the door for her getting in, or you see her, you know, walking in the restaurant and she putting, you know, she got on something that, dang, she dressing like that for him. You know what I'm saying? Dang, you know what I'm saying? Like, and those feelings start to come, and you start feeling like, in a way, like, man, you know what I'm saying? I know we went through whatever we went through, but I'm still not over her. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I didn't get over her like I thought I did, because I'm feeling stuff. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling things when I'm seeing her, you know what I'm saying? When on Facebook, they might show suggested friends, and she on there with the new boo on the profile picture, you know what I'm saying? And they might be at y'all, you used to be y'all favorite restaurant, you know. So that's what Crazy is about.
Okay.
You know, it's about those moments, you know, just talking about how crazy it is that, you know, I'm still having these feelings, and that I'm still, you know, trapped in this, you know what I'm saying? This whatever we used to have, you know what I'm saying?
So have you dropped any parts of that song on the internet yet?
Well, I've done, you know, what I call it, like a promo, where it's basically just like a minute plus of, you know, the song.
Okay.
And, you know, it's just to get people, you know, just get their palates wet and to show them what's to come. But,
okay. So Crazy is dropping in October.
Yeah, Crazy is dropping in October. And then, before this year, I really wanted to have the full album, and that's what I've been advertising, that the full album was dropping in 2025. Obviously, if anybody knows anything about creating an album, it's extremely hard to do. You know, even just a single song is extremely hard to, you know, produce, write, because I'm producing and writing. So far, I've written and produced everything on my album. So it's really...
Any features?
So yeah, my man Case, shout out to Case, is gonna be featuring with me on a record. I don't know who Case is. Case is I'm Missing You. Case is Could It Be Happily Ever After. and I'm kind of hoarse, but yeah, Case is my man. He's a good friend of mine, and he's gonna be featuring on the album. Me and him got a song, a pretty interesting song. I don't know if I want to say that, but
yeah,
it's
but you do have some features.
Oh yeah, I got that's the first feature. Like I mentioned before, Duran from 112 has said that he wants to be a part of the album. And so yeah, we still, in talks of how that's gonna happen or when that's gonna happen or what. But yeah. And then I may have like a couple of features of just like friends of mine that people, amazing, incredible artists that you maybe not know, but you need to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody I introduce you to by way of my album or that I'm performing with or anything like that, they're gonna be, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna be on that level, they're gonna be at that bar.
Okay.
You know.
Well, man, I just want to tell you, thank you for coming on the show, bro.
Thank you for having me, bro.
You said you hadn't done this since 2012, so I'm honored.
Man, likewise, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man. For all the creatives that come out of Detroit, they've heard of you, or they work with you.
Yeah.
We got a new batch of creatives that came out. They may not know. You know, young people, the Vezos and the.
Oh yeah, well I know of Vezo too. We crossed paths quite a few times.
Okay.
I swear Vezo worked. We worked out of the same studio out of Nocturnal in Southfield together.
Okay. See, and that was random.
Yeah.
But
and his producer, who he's worked with, hell of a. Me and him have crossed paths and kicked it quite a few times.
Yeah,
and, you know, so it's all just a chain.
Yeah,
man.
especially for the creatives. For the creatives, there's no telling.
Yeah, man.
So, man, thank you for coming to PDP After Dark, man. We got our drinks on the table.
Yeah, man. Thank you for having me.
I just want to say, for anybody that hasn't heard of Joe Porê, make sure that you go to all YouTube, all the.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. They can find
Instagram,
you all over the internet.
the only underscore JOEPORE, and Facebook JOEPORE. You know, I'm definitely gonna show up on there, and I look just exactly how I do right now. So y'all be able to find me.
Yeah. And the album, like you said, the single is dropping in October. Make sure that y'all support. Make sure, and this will be dropping. I'm gonna try to drop this right around that time, so it's perfect.
Yeah,
man, I appreciate you for sure, man.
Man, thank you. Bro.
Always a pleasure, bro.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, for sure. All right, y'all. Thank y'all for supporting PDP After Dark, and we're gonna holla. Keep disrupting. Peace.